about a hand for that guy? So, I'm an older person, still valuable. I'm just trying to age with dignity, you know? I'm not dyeing my hair, I'm not exercising at all. Not buying trendy clothes or bathing. I just feel like start my the gray hair. I started going gray when I was 26 months old. I think this side's quicker than this side. When I was 40 years old, I had the two-tone kind of thing. It's like it was dark on top. It was like being slowly dipped in old. What's that? Talk about where I live? All right. I live in a nice area, but I've got the one neighbor that's just kind of weird, you know? Great Wi-Fi. It's odd. Odd fella. And it started the day he moved in, like 5 years ago, right? I'm minding my own business, just sunbathing. Front yard. Face down, just a thong. Dead of winter. And I cannot believe what I'm seeing through my high-powered binoculars. This guy comes out of his front door, and he's got chickens. 4 or 5 chickens, playing with them on the front lawn like dogs, having a great time. That goes on for a couple of weeks until one day the chickens are out on their own. And of course, one of them gets out into the street and gets run over by a car that I was driving. And I thought, this guy's going to be distraught. I'm going to have to buy him flowers or send him coleslaw and a biscuit. Whatever you do with a flat chicken. So from inside the house, he hears a commotion, runs out, he's pantless, and says, what happened? You know, what's going on? I said, look, the chicken was in the street, okay, coming right at me, and I thought he was going to swerve first, but he wanted to play, so that's how that happened. So he says, you're going to buy that, you're going to pay for a burial of that chicken, right? But then when I counter with a cremation, because I like extra crispy, we lost the So we get into this huge argument / fist fight, both pantless, non-sword fight, and we decide to just split the costs of a backyard funeral. And I was in charge of the casket, right? What a nice one, like solid mahogany in the shape of a 20-piece bucket. It was a nice service, open lid. It is nice being in front of people again. The COVID thing was terrible. We're still recovering for that. And since I've been back out, what I've discovered is my favorite shows, really favorite, are the ones in the tiny towns in the middle of nowhere because they're really supportive of performers, not like here. They really push for it. My last show was in Southern Oregon. I drove up there. I get into the hotel, walk through the lobby, I'm shirtless, sporting a brand new body piercing. Right? A little infected, but cool. Woman behind the counter, no sense of humor. Right? Great kisser. No laugh. So she says, oh, your room's ready. It's no pets, non-smoking. I said, oh, my dog loves to smoke. Got no laugh, just like that. Then I went to the room, opened the door, wall-to-wall shag carpet. A little odor. Might have been the mold. And 3 beds. One of me, but 3 beds, 3 tables, 3 chairs. All it needed was 3 bowls of porridge. and some bears, I called down, they said, don't worry, you're in the wrong room, but stay there. So I get ready for the show, shower, shave, full body wax. And it's a great show, like this show. I did pretty well, like I'm doing now. I got applause breaks. Unsolicited applause breaks. And after the show, I just wanted to get back to the hotel and sleep. But now I got to pick among these 3 beds. Try the first bed, too hard. Try the second bed, too soft. But then I try the third bed, and it's just covered in nail clippings. Finger and toe, mostly toe. So I decide I'm just going to sleep on the floor, right? Next morning, I can barely move because the shag has entwined itself in my infected piercing. So I'm pushing and pulling, a lot of blood. But I make checkout time, and then I drove here. That would have been a good applause break time right there. Anybody celebrating Easter tomorrow? Yeah. Easter. Yeah. One thing I learned is funny. I didn't know this. I guess the most difficult time for women to conceive is around Easter because their bodies sense the holiday and hide their eggs. Someone said that was cute. Not looking for funny cute. So, so I do drive a lot for comedy, and I get lost easily. Before GPS, it was really bad. One of my first memories is of getting lost. I was in utero, and it was checkout time. They were draining the pool, and I could not, for the life of me, find the birth canal. Like terrible lighting, no GPS. And I asked the placenta, what do you think? He said, hey, I'm just following you. Big placenta fan. So I try to, I pick the best I can, and of course I go the wrong way. So instead of head first, I'm going down the birth canal feet first, and fast, right? Which explains my love of water slides. But more importantly, shows how easy I get turned around. Does that continue? All right. You guys have C's candy stores here? Yes. I was at a C's about maybe 2 weeks ago for dinner. And I was finishing my entree of nuts and chews, and I did 2 pounds. And I realized this food's got to be incredibly unhealthy because all the employees are dressed as nurses. But I do eat too much, I've even thought about what I would have if I were on death row. Ever have that conversation with the meal choice? If I were on death row, I would have, if I had something on death row, it would be to go. What time zone are you in, sir? My doctor's mad at me for the weight. He says, Patrick, you can't carry that kind of weight at your age. And I've always been this build, always been this kind of, shape. You look at pictures like, college, high school, sonogram, same. And I said, well, how much should I lose? He says, well, if you can pinch an inch, you should watch your weight. Pinch an inch? What if I can fold a foot? But the toughest addiction, especially for my generation, is smoking, cigarette smoking. It was very easy to start, very hard to quit. Anybody here smoked for a long time and then quit? Yeah. Right there? Where else? Smoked for a long time and quit? Where? Anybody? Raise your hand. Right there. What brand of cigarettes did you used to smoke? I'm always curious.
All of them.
But what were your favorite brand, you think?
Marlboro. Yeah, sure.
Marlboro.
American Spirits.
American Spirits. That's funny. Looking at her, I would have guessed crack. My favorite thing about the smokers, though, is the packing thing they do. They come out of the store. And they flip it around. I thought they were trying to communicate with other smokers. You know? Some Morse code you guys have, or Philip Morse code, whatever you guys call it. Now, the reason, if you don't know, the reason they pack the cigarettes, and check me on this, crack smoker, the reason they do it is to compact the tobacco to get a bigger hit of nicotine, make a cigarette burn longer. More nicotine, burns longer, totally works, because I recently started packing my own ho-hos. I get like a huge hit of cream filling. And each individual hoe lasts longer. That's what you want from a hoe. Thank you, everybody.